Relationships in the dating pool is already complicated enough, but now this movie gave me something else I need to be worried about. If I was dating a woman that looked like Zendaya, honestly, I'd be a little bit more open-minded. And we are talking spoilers, so if you have not seen this movie yet, come back later. The Drama is a movie that I was trying to go into not knowing anything about it, but as usual, the internet ruined it for me. I love Zendaya. That woman is so beautiful. She is perfect in my eyes. So I was already interested when I saw that she was in this movie. But then when you add Robert Pattinson into the mix, I was wrong about him for years. I only knew him from Harry Potter, so when he got to Twilight, I just looked at him as the lame Twilight guy. But between Tenet, The Batman, and Mickey 17, and then what he's about to do with Dune Part 3 and The Odyssey, I was wrong. So when this movie got announced, I thought this was going to be just another generic rom-com movie. And then months ago, I was on Twitter and I saw a random Twitter account make a random tweet and they spoiled the twist of this movie. And after watching it, I'm mad because they were right. I saw this twist months ago, and I wish I would have seen my reaction if I went into this not knowing anything. So the movie is about a couple that's about to get married in the next few weeks, and they play a game where they're saying the worst thing they've ever done. And maybe I'm a piece of shit, but why wouldn't you just lie? So the group goes around the table and they each say the worst thing that they've done. And so the first guy goes and he says that he was talking to a woman and they were on vacation. They got attacked by a dog and he used the woman as a shield to protect himself. A woman goes and she says that she locked a mentally challenged boy in a closet and she left him. Robert Pattinson's character, like me, just gave a BS answer, said something about online bullying, cyberbullying, and then Zendaya's character goes and she says that when she was 15 years old, she was thinking about committing a mass shooting at school and she almost went through with it. Instant vibe killer. That moment for all these characters changed how they looked at that beautiful and sweet girl, and it poses the question of, can you truly forgive someone for their past? So going into this, I didn't know if the spoiler that I saw was true, but this movie was a lot darker than I was expecting it to be. And I loved it because maybe I'm just a depressing person, but I enjoyed this movie a lot more than I thought I would. Robert Pattinson is one of the best actors in Hollywood, and I thought he played the awkward, nerdy guy extremely well. And for a majority of this movie, I felt really bad for him because he was going through it. When it comes to Zendaya, even though I love her, I would marry her right now, I'm usually not a big fan of her acting. I don't think she's a bad actress. I just don't think her range is as great as some other actresses. But in this, I thought she did very well. So her character is deaf in one ear, and as the movie goes along, we learn how it actually happened, and she wasn't just born that way. She actually blew her ear out because she was in her backyard practicing shooting a gun. This movie is labeled as a comedy, but this is a very dark film. I feel like this movie is going to be very controversial, especially if enough people go out and see it. I mean, in America, if you're American, you already know we have a gun issue here, and mass shootings are definitely a problem. And I feel like some people, they're probably going to look at this movie once they find out what the twist is. They're going to look at this film and say that this film is kind of promoting mass shootings. But for me, I don't look at it that way. In America, we do have an issue, and if you turn on the news, we see these types of stories way too often. I don't have an issue with movies talking about sensitive subjects. And even though this movie is extremely dark, it still had multiple points in this film where me and the other people in my movie theater were laughing out loud. Like the scene where Charlie was at work and he was in his office and he was crying, and then his coworker came and she tried to comfort him, and then they just started randomly kissing and they were about to have sex. That scene got a lot of reaction in my theater. And then at the end of the movie, when they were at the wedding and they were having that meeting in the back room, and it was Zendaya's character, it was the coworker, and then it was Charlie, and you're like, oh, this is about to blow up in his face. That was hilarious. Charlie clearly being shaken throughout this movie, I'm sorry. I thought that was hilarious. Like Charlie throwing away the coffee mug with the gun on it, I thought that was funny. The scene where Charlie was scared when Emma said his name and she was standing there with the knife, I thought that was funny. The photo shoot scene with the wedding photographer where they're taking pictures together, my theater was dying at that scene. Like Charlie was stressed out for like an hour and 20 minutes, and this movie is only an hour and 40 minutes long. For me, it was something great about, we shouldn't laugh at this, but it's funny. Like, it was a scene where Zendaya's character was a little girl. She's in her bedroom. She's serious. She got her rifle. She got her camo on, and she's trying to make a video and upload it to her computer, but she can't because it needs an update. It's like, this isn't funny, but it's funny. So I thoroughly enjoyed this movie, but there were some things about this film that I didn't like. Nothing major, but just Even though this character isn't wrong in my opinion, her. Her character was so annoying, but I'm kind of mad because she wasn't really wrong. Again, nothing major, just something that really stuck out to me. The little girl that was supposed to be younger Zendaya looks absolutely nothing like Zendaya. And maybe I'm reaching because I know what they were doing. I know what they were going for, but it was actually just one scene in this movie that made me personally feel a little uncomfortable. It was a scene with Robert Pattinson, and he was with the girl that was supposed to be the younger Zendaya, and they were like holding hands. He had like his arm around her. I don't want to say intimate because that really sounds bad, but y'all, if you saw the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And I know what they were doing because he's clearly with adult Zendaya, but he's visualizing her as the little girl that was about to commit this act. Again, I know what they were doing. I know what they were going for. It's just for me personally, that made me feel a little weird. And then the ending of this movie. The entire time I'm watching this film and all this craziness is going on, the whole time I'm sitting there like, how are we gonna wrap all this up? And then when we get to the ending and the film is over, I'm just kind of like, oh, okay. As of this recording, the drama is projected to make around 15 million in its opening weekend on Rotten Tomatoes as a critic score of 78% and a fan rating of 81%. And I'm right there with them. I'm gonna give this movie a 8, which is a grade on my scale. I loved both Robert and Zendaya's performance, and I loved their characters. I thought the story was interesting, and I love that they touched a serious topic and took a risk. For such a dark film, they had a lot of funny moments that genuinely made me laugh. I had a great time with this. But now here comes the $1 million question. What would you do? I would let Zendaya shoot me in the face right now. No, I'm just playing. But on a serious note, I don't know what I would do. I mean, granted, her character didn't go through with it. I think Zendaya's character, Emma, in current day is 30 years old. I think this happened around the time she was 15. So this was 15 or so years ago. But I would still be extremely worried. Like, if my girl is in her 30s today and she told me, yeah, when I was 12 years old, I used to torture this dog, I would be very alarmed. She had the weapon on her and she was seriously about to do it. And oh, I forgot to mention this. Her father is trash. Like, how do you lose a gun and then years later at a wedding you making jokes about it like, what happened with that gun? Throw his ass in jail. It's just such a funny concept to think about, but it is something that you need to think about because we're all different. We all have our own personal limits. Like, we all have our breaking points. Like, what is something that a man or a woman you're dating tells you that might have you like absolutely not, or it might have you second guessing? Like, for me, I'm 32 years old. If I met a woman, we hit it off, we getting serious. If she told me down the road, man, when I was 18, I was out here wild and I made adult videos, I was an adult entertainer, I had this many dudes at the same time, I don't know how I would feel about that. I would be kind of hesitant about that, but this was a great movie. But thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new here. We talk about a bunch of different things on this channel. What were you guys' thoughts on this movie? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you have an issue with the subject matter in this movie? I know for some people this can be a very controversial, this can be very emotional. Did you have an issue with the subject matter in this movie? And also, if you were talking to a guy or a girl and they told you something along the lines that we saw in this, or they told you something else that was in your brain extreme, what would you do? Let me know in the comment section below. Love you guys. As always, remember to tell somebody that you love them. Until next time, see you in the next life.